I originally saw a Chibi tweet about this. I didn't really look too deeply into it. I just kind of saw bits and pieces. But from what I understand, it's payment processors once again overreaching and telling you what you can and can't do with your money. And this time it seems like they're targeting Yuri games, which is not very progressive chungus. You know what? Why can't I have the Sesbian Lex? Wild. Well, what's so wrong with wanting to watch two anime women fall in love, huh? Well, what's so wrong with that? I swear, man, Visa and MasterCard doesn't want me to be happy. Shit. I can't do anything. Can't buy fucking ammunition. I can't go to fucking hentai websites. Like, damn, what can I do? Shit. But, let's get straight into it. Let me pause the music here, because this is a super serious topic that is not music appropriate, alright?
I cannot believe I'm even having to say this, but,
Ain't that crazy? If I was a number one cuties defender like Sneeko, Collective Chat wouldn't have a problem with me. But because I like anime titties, they wanna make my life hard. Ain't that some bullshit?
Yuri games are now completely getting banned within the Steam store. Banks find them completely unacceptable, and now they are debanking creators and artists for even daring to create anything with Yuri content. And obviously, I don't need to say it, but I was right once again. I talked about this over a year ago, that the icky, problematic fiction that everybody was cheering for to be censored, cancelled, and removed from Steam and other platforms has now finally shifted into some very mainstream low-level stuff that honestly is ridiculous. Yuri is now being censored and banned, and banks, like I said, are getting...
Which is funny, because you would think that's not very progressive, Chungus. Like, it's a very interesting, like, out of all the shit you could have censored, what's wrong with a little bit of, Yuri? Blooming to use peak, by the way. But, and Citrus is alright. Not my favorite. I think Citrus is overhyped. Blooming to use peak. Alright? That is the peak anime, the peak Yuri anime you should be watching, alright? Blooming to you. Definitely recommend. It's tier. I own the Blu-ray. It's fucking awesome. But, yeah, it's such a interesting choice there to censor. And by the way, Chibi's 100% correct. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize when it comes to the whole censorship debate. They'll make excuses like, "Oh no, it's okay that they censor Lolly because Lolly is icky," and I don't like people gooning to fucking Rebecca from Cyberpunk or Freerin or whatever fucking Lolly Hestia. But they make excuses for things that they personally don't like, and then they're real shocked when something they do like gets censored. And it's like, I mean, that's the slippery slope you decide to embark on when you advocate for censorship.
Involved. This means payment processors like Visa and MasterCard. This is not just a simple, oh, Steam doesn't like it. This is banks, people that control the cash flow of the world. They are stopping the...
Okay. Yuri Slops, the Yuri Slop slander is crazy. Alright, it is, as the kids like to say these days, it is tough. T-U-F-F, tough.
These games from now being placed on a Steam store for an adult can actually play them. Now, for those that need a little bit of context to what I talked about, how I warned people over a year ago, and also what Yuri actually is, which I don't think I need to explain, but I will for those that have no idea what it actually is. First off, Yuri is basically girls' love. It is the opposite of yaoi, which is boys' love.
Now, y'all never catch me watching yaoi, though. That shit's gay. I've watched 2 yaoi anime in my life. I watched Love Stage, mostly because I thought it was kind of funny. And I started watching Yuri on Ice, but I was bored out of my fucking mind. I didn't even finish the first episode. That I was just bored out of my fucking mind. That's why Yuri is superior. Alright, everybody knows this. Alright? Watching boys kiss is gay. Watching two girls kiss, though, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's natural. Alright?
Basically, yaoi is usually for fujoshi, women that really, really love to see guys go at it with each other. You know.
Yeah, ironically enough, I've never watched Boku no Pico. Because I never got by the... Because when I got into anime pretty young. My first anime was Saint Seiya. Peak shonen, by the way. Saint Seiya is the greatest shonen anime to ever fucking exist. But, I never got by the whole Boku no Pico stuff. I've never seen Boku no Pico in my life. I've seen Bible Black. I've seen that one. Other than that, I've seen Milk Money. I don't know if you know Milk Money. Yeah, Milk Money's so it's a little bit freaky. Some would say it's a little bit freaky. Just a tad, just a smidgen. But I've seen Milk Money.
Basically gay guys. And then you have Yuri, which is the opposite of that. Two girls that, love each other and they have a relationship. The same thing. It's the opposite of yaoi. And basically there's a demographic, obviously. And it is just a very typical, standard formula within manga, writing, games, and stuff like that. But apparently that is now too icky and problematic to even dare to have a creator make anymore and put that on the Steam store. For instance, you can have...
Which is funny, man, the Yuri, that's too far, man. But Furry Hitler 2? Furry Hitler 2, that's perfectly fine. So it's a phenomenal game. On Steam. Would recommend.
Literally no content, no explicit content, anything like that, but apparently it is still inappropriate. It just cannot be actually shown on the Steam store. And the reason why this is very important is because where this all started. I would like to remind everybody, banks and payment processors started going after stuff like, for instance, taboo tags and stuff on Steam. A really good example of this, obviously, is Grape. For instance, blackmail, hypnosis, obviously the Wincest tag, different things like that. Obviously, very problematic tags that get a lot of people to say that shouldn't even exist. However, when you advocate and allow censorship of these tags that you dislike, eventually that censorship will hit the very things that you like. Ironically enough...
Right. It's a slippery slope. And it's insane to me that payment processors have this fucking... First of all, it's insane to me that we've allowed payment processors to have a duopoly like this. I don't know why anybody thought it was a good idea to allow Visa and MasterCard to be the only payment processors in existence. Yeah, man, I'm sure having a duopoly isn't a terrible idea. If having a monopoly is already a bad idea, I can't imagine that a duopoly would be just as much of a problem, right? But they should not have that level of power. It is insane that there is no legislation to stop payment processors from doing this type of shit. Payment processors should not be able to tell you, hey, you can't buy this certain amount of ammunition. You can't buy You can't buy fucking Kiss Your Sister 7 on Steam. It's just it's so fucking retarded. It is beyond me why this is allowed and why so little people seem to have an issue with this. Because normies don't really give... The only time normies have ever given a shit about this is with the whole ammunition stuff when Visa and MasterCard were trying to control how much ammunition you can buy. That was the only fucking time Republicans gave a shit about this. Outside of that, only the terminally online retards like me give a shit about this. Because the Republicans don't care because who cares that the Gooners want to buy fucking Furry Hitler 2 on Steam, right? Leftists want the censorship. And to be fair, both sides want this censorship. They just want it for two different reasons, right? The left wants the censorship because, icky. The right wants the censorship because, they're, Christianity or whatever, right? It's just, they want the same thing, just, 2 different reasons why. So it is really, if anybody ever actually does something about this problem, the fact that Visa and MasterCard have a duopoly and they can tell you what you can and can't buy with your fucking money, like that, like, okay, if it was the credit card, okay, cool, fine, sure, credit, that's the bank's money, fine. But you can't even buy this shit with your debit card. That's your fucking money. It is baffling.
A lot of the Yuri enjoyers, people that really love Yuri, were very much pro-censorship. Yeah, I'm not joking. Most of the people that especially love it on platforms like Reddit and Twitter, they are very pro-censorship of icky fiction. But now their icky fiction is being targeted. It is declared icky fiction because, banks have to get rid of it. So
it's my favorite video game, man. Sex with Hitler? Peak. My favorite literary work of all time is Hitler x Pikachu. That's peak cinema.
Yeah, we are now once again in the slippery slope. You know that meme of the rock that continues to kind of tumble on and crush more and more people, and eventually someone's like, huh, what's going on? Like, why aren't you standing up for me? And you see the person behind him flatten to the ground thanks to the boulder. And that's basically what's happening. Everybody that tried to advocate and say that this was going to happen either got slandered, censored, buzzword, called a Nazi, called a freak, called a weirdo, called a pedo, anything basically under the
don't yuck my yum, man.
sun to get them to shut up. And now, obviously, those very people that tried to do that are now facing the consequences. Now, because I am a man,
you know what this reminds me of? What was that one? What's that one Netflix show? I was gonna say, what's that one Netflix show that the normies really like? And it's like there's like 10,000 different options it could be. I don't remember what the fuck the name of it was. But I remember when this was a whole controversy because there was like a lesbian sex scene or something like that in the ending, and it got censored in China, and everybody was bitching and crying about it. It's like, man, yeah, it's censorship sucks, doesn't it? Censorship isn't very fun when it happens to something that you like, huh?
That likes to keep my virtues and what I believe in strictly intact. I still think it's incredibly wrong for Yuri to be censored, because to be blunt here, I actually like Yuri. I do. I like Yuri games. I like Yuri stories. Hell, I really sought out a lot of Yuri anime and stuff when I was really getting into anime. So I'm just gonna be blunt. Seeing this, it also, once again, another one of my favorite tags is getting hit. It's completely unacceptable. And so, getting a little bit more detail into this, the actual creators, the developers, announced what's going on and gave us some insight into what's actually happening here. So they basically talk about how, Steam revenue sales were completely rejected by a bank, and then if you go down, they explain exactly.
I did see this as well, and it was
what happened.
It's insane, man.
So recently,
it is ridiculous.
With the buzz around money laundering and the screening of overseas remittance, Shinsei Bank requested submission of documents, which I did submit. This story is sounding like the exact same thing I've been covering for literally 8 months now. For some reason, a lot of these Japanese banks within Japan are now listening to Western banks and different Western,
which is a big fucking mistake. It's, I hope that we get alternatives, because this is just insane, man. you should not have such a powerful duopoly controlling all of this shit, man. It is insane. Like, I hope shit like Rumble Wallet is able to take off. I want a Rumble Wallet debit card, man. That's what I want. Okay. Rumble is fucking base. They don't really give a shit. So, Rumble would let me buy all the Yuri greatness on Steam.
Ideologies to censor certain creators within Japan. It has become a systematic, repeating type of pattern that we have seen over and over now lately when it comes to games and artists within Japan. But anyways, Shinsei Bank determined that there were sales of adult Yuri content and refused to handle it. Even after the publisher transferred sales excluding the adult content portion through Japan Post Bank, it went through screening, document submission, refusal. I don't understand the meaning of this. To be continued. And so basically...
So that's... So they... Okay. So they rejected him because he's making money, I guess, selling adult content? That's what I'm more or less understanding here. God, I got nothing, man. I got nothing. If you want to be a whore on OnlyFans or Fansly, that's perfectly fine, but Yuri games, that's too far, man. That's too far. It's not cool, man.
They opened up another bank and all that, trying to get all this process. They even censored their game. They followed regulations of what the bank wanted them to do, and even then, that was not enough. This gets back into the main point. When you advocate and allow yourself to basically bend over and get the censorship of the law up you, basically, it's going to continue getting worse. It will continue to get worse because it's never enough. Censorship is never enough for these people. And more or less what they're trying to do is create a chilling effect where you just don't even make the content anymore. And that's what's going to happen. So, yeah, for those that used to...
I mean, yeah, man, if you can't make money off of the Yuri games, then, I mean, there's no point in making it, right? Can't make money, then, you know, as much as you love it, at the end of the day, you gotta survive, you gotta pay bills.
Always scream at me, saying, Chibi, you're stupid. You're defending freaky stuff. Why are you defending freaky stuff?
I know, heaven forbid,
there
right?
You go.
And by the way, I'm not even like a massive lolicon or anything like that. Like, I like a couple lolly characters here and there, but I'm not a massive lolicon or anything like that. But you know, this idea that, you know, oh, if you like lollies, you must be a PDF. It's like, okay, man. All right. Yeah, sure, buddy. All right. Yeah, you know, it's crazy to me that we have not defeated this, you know, fiction equals reality debate. It's
here you go.
Fucking
because
insane.
Now your Yuri is getting affected, and don't worry, eventually it'll be something else that's even lower tier than this. So, take it as you will. I will leave it at that, though. I hope this gets corrected, but I doubt it will, because obviously we've seen this story now. This is like the 6th or 7th story that's happened this year.
I wish Daddy Gabe wouldn't fold to the payment. Fuck it. If Daddy Gabe made his own payment, he got the money. Daddy Gabe got the money to make his own fucking payment processor. He could make his own. He can start his own bank. And then he just build like a mansion in the Netherlands or something like that. He got that. He got that cash. He got that fuck you money.
With something very similar, but this is one of the very few times we've had just such transparency on exactly what's happening here, and this to be just so ridiculous. But be safe, stay healthy, subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. Chibi out.
There you have it, ladies and germs. That is the situation with the Yuri games versus payment processors. I don't know what I'm gonna title this when I put it on YouTube. The title's a work in progress. All right, we'll get there. But yeah, you know, there you have it. Pretty soon, you ain't gonna be able to goon to nothing, kid, and you will like it. You know, I know Chibi likes to say this a lot, and I agree with him. You know, Shin Moneta, that wasn't a comedy, right? That was a very sophisticated criticism of society and censorship and government censorship of fictional content. I'm telling you, man. This is what they want. Right? This is why they can call me a Trump cocksucker all they want on Twitter. But at the end of the day, I do not trust the government. I do not trust the government because the government lies. The government only cares about themselves. And they will happily fuck you over to get what they want. That's why you gotta make the government work for you. Alright? I don't want government telling me what I can goon to in the privacy of my own home. Alright? If I wanna watch some enemies to lover Yuri romance, then who is a top goy president to tell me otherwise, huh? But now I'm just spitballing here.